Hi, Vicki. Thank you so much for your patience. Here is, I'm ready to do your general reading for the first 3 months of 2023. So I was trying to think about like what decks I wanted to use. I'm gonna just stick. I was even thinking about switching up the decks for each month, but then I thought, Rider Waite really is the most straightforward answer and kind of it's the cleanest deck for me to work with, in my opinion. It just gives us those straight answers. So I'm gonna work with Rider Waite, and I'm gonna lay down the first month, pull it up, lay down the second month, and then pull that up and then lay down the third. So we'll watch the transitions. But what I wanted to do before that is I wanted to use this Divine Abundance deck. We've been using it this month and I'm really enjoying these cards. And I feel like what I want to do is shuffle these for one card for each month and lay them across the top, right? So we see what's coming in January, February, and March. This will indicate the overarching theme, lesson, focus, similar to like how we do a grounding stone, right? It's kind of like what do we need to be focused on during that month, or what is the goal of that month? What is the, I don't know if it's lesson is the right word, but you know what I'm saying. I think you can get the gist of it. But those will stay up there to kind of be reminders as we look at the cards. Because I'm going to lay out the full month, I'm going to move rather quickly and just kind of it's going to be because it's a 3 month reading, so essentially this is almost like 3 readings at once. So I'm going to move quickly, so hopefully I don't go too fast for you, but I'm going to give you kind of like the quick and dirty version of everything in a way, and then discuss kind of the totality of the 3 months. Okay, I may even do a fourth spread of how you overall look by the end of this period, this block of the year. Okay, so let's start with what does Vicki need to know for the month of January. What is the overarching theme for January of 2023 for Vicki? Okay, so this will be for January. Now I'm going to see please the overarching theme or what Vicki needs to know for February. Here's February. And let's see for March. What does Vicki need to know for March? What is the overarching theme, outcome, goal of March? This is going to be a lot of cards, Vicki, so hang in there. That's why I'm going to kind of go quick and dirty. You may need to rewatch this video a few times, but I'm just going to like throw down the cards and look at it and give you my overall viewpoint of what's going on. Oh, we're not supposed to look at that yet. Sorry. But it looked really beautiful. It's a card I haven't seen before, and I'm really excited to see what's going on in March for you. All right, I just saw something on this card that I'm like, whoa, what was that? All right, so let's get into January here. Sorry, my hands are a little cold. It got cold here in Texas. I bet you it's beautiful in Hawaii. All right, let's get into January and see what's Vicki going to experience. What is the general reading for January of 2023 for Vicki? Hopefully these are all in frame. I'm going to try and get them all in frame. And maybe we can lift these up a little bit higher. Okay. All right, let's look at January really quick. I may clarify as I go. So your center for January, Queen of Swords. Okay, instantly you're cutting away some bullshit. I felt like when I was shuffling the cards for January, things felt a little tense, a little tight, a little, not heaviness so much as tightness. The cards felt a little bit, what's the word? I don't want to say anxious, but like just things aren't as easeful as we would like them to be. Queen of Swords is looking to the future. She's planning her future, is what I'm feeling when I'm looking at this. She's trying to cut away the clouds or sort of what she doesn't see or what doesn't serve her. She's looking at it from the more the long distance versus the short distance, right? So we might be, percolating ideas. Seven of Pentacles is work, harvest, paying attention, giving attention to whatever it is that we need to build, and the Queen is logically trying to figure a way to get there. The Five of Swords is a conflict of some sort, and then the Queen of Swords again. So, whatever this conflict is, conflicting opinions, fighting with a, I don't know if it's a significant other, a coworker, a boss, whatever it may be, there's some of that going on, but you clearly with these two queens here know what's right for you, and you have the like sort of wherewithal or the attention to put in the work involved to bring in what it is that you desire, that what you're looking for your future, right? Let's look at this card really quick. Five of Pentacles. This is a card of loss or setback. This is in the past, right? And so, but you move through it. The fives are transitory, but this five is driving the month of January. In essence, you might be thinking of a time when you were in a period of lack or worry, feeling unsupported, and not wanting to go there again. And I don't think that you will, right? Because the Queen is going to steer the ship here. She knows what she wants and she's direct in her communication. She doesn't mince her words. She's not like tiptoeing around anybody whatsoever. But this is also, in my opinion, oh, I didn't flip over the overarching theme. Well, I guess I'll do it at the end. In my opinion, it's kind of, it's the reminder of this that creates sort of like the fear or the impetus for the Queen to step forward and make it happen. We have the Seven of Cups, which is emotional confusion. We have the High Priestess, which is our intuition. We knew what was right in this situation, I'm going to say, and we maybe didn't trust it or choose it. I'm going to say that right out of the gate. And then we have the Star, which is peace and tranquility and a lot of healing. There's something really solid inside of you, even when you're in the midst of adversity and maybe some emotional confusion. That's what got you through to here. Star is Aquarian energy, which is air. The Queen of Swords is also air. So we became smarter through this experience, this hardship, this setback. We knew what was right, and we still know what was right. We might even still be fighting with this Five of Swords here for what was right. But this is the Queen of Swords, man. She knows how to go to a sword fight. She's not going to like jerk around or be jerked around, right? And so she's, regardless of what's going on around her, what sort of kind of complications are happening, she's not letting it affect her or stop her. That's why we see her twice here. Then we have the Nine of Wands up in the soul position. Again, after a setback, right? In the past, we've learned something at the spiritual level. We've evolved to a certain degree or been educated to be smarter, to work smarter, not harder, to protect ourselves. Put negative experiences to sort of good use or good awareness, and you utilize those learnings or those hardships as wisdom or learned truths that serve us now, is my feeling. So we have the Eight of Pentacles, another working card, right? The Temperance card, that's about also balance. We see that down here in the Star. And then we have the Five of Cups. So there's been some struggle in 2022. Obviously, there's still a little struggle going into 2023. I feel like this is more of 2022's energy, right? And we've been through the hardship and we're still kind of maybe settling it emotionally, settling it mentally. We're putting our focus in our work, it appears, with the Seven and the Eight of Pentacles here. But focus with goals of a further successful outcome with this Queen of Swords happening in the center, right? She knows what she wants and she's not gonna let like sort of the past or the experience of the past stop her or slow her down, right? That's my feeling. It's going to be about, essentially, I feel like it's about holding your ground, knowing your truth and staying in that truth as best you can. Let's look to the outside influences. We have the Queen of Cups. She's very nurturing, intuitional, psychic, loving. This could be a person, a friend, a dear friend, somebody that's supporting you during this time, like not financially, but like emotionally helping you through this time. She's also on your level. If this is a person outside of you or you see as an equal, being these two queens, and they're definitely having a chat, is if you look at how they're positioned. If this is not somebody outside of you, then it is just a supportive sort of general situational energy that brings love and good emotions. We have the Knight of Pentacles, slow forward movement. We have the Sun, and that's always a positive card. And we have the Queen of Cups again. It's funny how you two mirror each other with the two queens. That's really kind of freaky. Um, if this is a person or a girlfriend or somebody that you confide in, she is to be trusted. She might even have some wisdom for you or some information in how to move forward in a productive manner. It's not going to be a fast forward movement, but it's going to be step by step. I feel like her advice or this situation's advice, let's say, or the experience of this situation, if it's not a specific person, is going to be solid and reliable and true. That's the Sun and the Knight of Pentacles. It's going to emotionally feel right too for you if this is, like, say, an opportunity or a situation that's coming to you. The Queen of Cups would indicate we need to tap into our intuition and our emotions of how we feel about it. Do we feel connected to it? If indeed we do, then we move forward slowly. We see slow forward movement also with the 8 and the 7 of Pentacles here, but it's definitely better than the past with the 5 of Pentacles down here. Now let's go to the other outside influence. The Devil! Yes, Capricorn energy. Okay, I think this is the 5 of Swords in the center of this reading. I think this is the setback. I think that this Devil has something to do with all of this stuff in the center here. And this Queen of Swords is turning her back on the Devil. Devil is where we're our weakest, where we might be obsessed, where we might be focused in a way that's negative or harmful to ourselves. This can be a person or a situation that we are stuck with or feel tied to that we can't break free from. It's showing us something, though. We can break free from it. This Queen of Swords can easily cut herself free from it, but we may not be ready to as of yet. Let's just see. So we have the 10 of Swords. Ooh, she's done. Put a fork in her. She's done. The Death card. She's way done. Okay. And then the Ace of Wands. Rebirth. Definitely rebirth of the spirit. Whatever this is, whether this is a person, a situation, something that it definitely no longer serves you, and you're clear on that. You are like dead clear on that. You're done. It needs to transform, and it's about to transform, and I have a feeling it's about to transform whether you want it to or not. It will transform to your benefit, and it will be reborn in something that's inspiring, and I feel like all of these cards, just with the focus of these queens seated this way, Death is moving this way, the Knight of Pentacles is moving this way, everything is moving to the future. Even the 5 of Pentacles down here is moving to the future. I feel like this is breaking free from like a long hold pattern, person, situation that is bringing you grief or has not been good for you. And you know it. You're aware of it. It's a long time coming. We see it here in the 5 of Cups. We also see it down here in the 7 of Cups. We see it in the 5 of Swords. I feel like this situation, person, or whatever it may be, needs to transform itself in whatever way is appropriate. But it may not go with you on this journey, is my feeling with the 10 of Swords and the Death card there. It might be a rather big shift, but it's not, to me, it doesn't feel like an unfamiliar shift or something we weren't expecting. Let's look at the outcome, and remember, all of my outcomes are never set in stone. If we don't like these cards, we can use free will to change them. We have the 8 of Swords. Now, this is forward movement into February. I'm not mad at this at all. This could be also forward movement away from this. And it's quick movement, it's fast changes, it's an opportunity for rejoicing, for love. It is like a warm energy, and it's a directed energy. It's the clarity of this Queen of Swords in the center of where I need to be versus where I am at or where I have been. Does that make sense? So January may be full of, I don't know if visions is the right word, but like of looking forward into, okay, how do I want my 2023 to look, and really beginning to logically go about creating that and setting that off and letting go of the things that are standing in your way, taking the support from the things that feel emotionally correct and intuitionally correct and utilizing them for your own highest good. Let's just clarify this really quick. 10 of Pentacles, that's good money. We're okay with that. We're heading into a good place. Tower, I'm not worried about that tower only because I feel like that tower is this. And you moving away from it, letting it go, and justice. Something is going to come correct, and that's why I'm not afraid of that tower at all. I feel like that tower is somebody else's tower or some situation's tower that needs to come down so that you can move forward. Let's look at this overarching theme of the card. It is limitless. We just saw this. It says, see yourself open to receive in the most miraculous ways. The divine can use anything and anyone. So, for January, whatever is limiting you, it's been limiting you for a while, I feel like, and it's been limiting you in probably rather dark, obstructive ways, or ways that are no longer able to be like passed off or denied. You can't take it on the chin anymore, is my feeling. You know that you deserve more. You're ready to go after it. And you're going to get it. Justice is also air. She's Libra, right? And she's kind of tied into this Queen of Swords, to the Aquarian nature of the star. Even though there was setback in the past, you held true to what you knew to be true and kind of went inward, became secretive, maybe hid yourself a little bit. You're no longer hiding, is my feeling, in January. And January is about creating what the hell Vicki wants. That's this 10 of Pentacles up here. You're not going to necessarily instantly have the 10 of Pentacles, but I think that over time, with the right steps and the right methodical thought, you're on your way there. You're ready to kick it off, or the outcome towards the end of January, steps are about to be taken towards that joy. Those steps taken are in direct, I'm going to say this with that tower up there, they're in direct opposition to whatever this is here. Like, I almost say, like, something in your life doesn't want you to be too independent, if that makes sense. The devil wants us to be dependent on him. And I'm not saying that you have been. I feel like down here you've actually just learned how to adapt. You've kept quiet, kept secret, kept your knowledge to yourself, and sort of took it on the chin, and at times maybe even doubted yourself, but ultimately you knew your truth, and your truth is about to come out. I would say probably, if not late January, it will come out in early February. You'll be moving towards something that is more true and more right and more stable for you. All right, so that is January. I hope that didn't go too quickly. Let me get these cards up because this is a lot of cards, and let's get into February. You also have this angel in the spirit space. I just need to say that. You have the star down here. You have really beautiful cards happening that are within you that I want you to understand that you're, how do I want to say this? Like, you're more than what you give yourself credit for, or you're capable of more than what others tell you, if that makes any sense at all. All right, so let's get into February. Come on, February for Vicki. What does she need to know for February? And I'll say this about the Limitless card. You know, that queen was staring off into the future. And that, to me, is that also that nature of limitlessness. The Queen of Swords can see logically a path forward and create it from her mind. And so don't let whatever you're dealing with, be it negative situations around you, don't let that place limitations on what's available to you in the month of January, because transformation is really out there for you. All right, let's see February for Vicki. Okay, February. We have the Five of Cups. All right, here's the deal. I'm not mad at that. This is a card of sadness and emotionality, but I feel like this is that tower that we saw in the end of January. Whatever you're separating from, you're going through and you're feeling it. Now, we saw this up in your soul in January, right? In the soul cards. Your soul was already beginning to heal that a little bit and bringing it to the surface. That's why we saw it there. Now it's in the 3D. Now we're actually sitting with it and we're feeling it. We're not focusing on it, but we might be in a place of sadness or feeling a little bit, I don't want to say destitute, but like, what was comfortable, even if it wasn't good for us, the rug has been pulled out from under a little bit. But that's okay. I think that there's something. Fives are transitory. So February may be a transitionary month for you to move through some feelings that you have around a certain loss or setback. And I do believe that it has to do with that tower that we saw in the outcome of January. Let's go to the clarifiers. Ten of Swords, and it is this fucking person or this situation over here. Because you're done. You've just seen it all, been through it all, you're done. The Knight of Cups, moving forward in love. So this Five of Cups is like honoring the connection, the situation, and giving it sort of, the emotional attention that it deserves, but you're still moving forward with new love or in a stronger sense of self and love. And then the Hierophant. Okay. Spiritual understanding, spiritual wisdom outside of maybe societal norms, institutions. Again, a pillar card, similar to justice as we saw at the outcome. I feel like that's incorporating the divine feminine of justice and placing it into the divine masculine of the Hierophant. So you're like strong and stable in who you are, even though you might be going through the emotionality and the thoughts and kind of wrapping things up from the month previous. But it's going to be to your benefit and your own spiritual wisdom. Let's go to the past, the world. This is about chapters ending, but chapters ending in a victorious way. This could be, to me, this feels like, yes, it could be about the month previous, but I feel like this is overall on a whole as to how you deal with hard situations or situations where endings, you've always been successful with them. You've always found the silver lining, is my feeling with this card here. You've always taken the learning and applied it. And so this is just another case in point where you're doing that. And this reminder is here to remind you of that you have graduated, that this, even though there's a change afoot or a separation or a shift, and it may have been sort of abrupt or shook you up a bit, you're going to be okay. In your past, you've been okay. You've dealt with loss. You've dealt with hardship. And you've learned from it. You've always put it to good use, is what the world says to me here. You've always graduated that lesson. So again, we're graduating a lesson. And the reason why I feel that is because the Five of Cups is, yes, we're mourning a little bit. But we're mourning, we're processing the thoughts, and we're moving forward in love. And that brings us to the strength of the spiritual nature of the Hierophant, right? So we're not taking this for granted. We're not in February. We're really paying attention to what can we learn from these situations and how can we complete ourselves or our journey. And that's what this is about. It's about the ending of one chapter and the beginning of a new. This is big, powerful, shifting energy to be driving this reading, this card here. It's Major Arcana. So let's go to the clarifiers. We have the Ace of Cups. We have the Judgment card, Jesus Christ, and we have the King of Wands. Yeah. I'm going to say this, Vicki. This month of February, you're being driven by either your higher self, your guides, your angels, spirit, God, whatever, towards a rebirth. And you're in the process of that. And sometimes rebirth can be a little bit messy and emotional and confusing. I don't feel like confusion as much as this Ten of Swords to me feels like you're going to be maybe reflecting a lot on, thoughts or communications of the past. But it's all for your own good. And I feel like this King of Wands to me is actually some of this devil energy over here. I feel like, I don't know why, but I feel like there's just one specific situation or person that is egoic, that is selfish. And this is them down here, but judgment, they can't get past judgment in the Ace of Cups, right? So in the foundation of what's driving these changes that are happening in the month of February, he's still present. He might still try and have a line in or a you know, keep contact or connection, but he can't. This is about answering the higher call, raising yourself to the higher learning and the understanding of that and the power of that and being victorious, right? Let's go to the higher self card. The Emperor. Emperor trumps this fucker down here. Excuse my language. They're both fire signs, but Emperor is far stronger. This is your higher self, dear. This is Aries energy. This is about not lowering our standards, not expecting the best from ourselves. Our divine masculine energy, running that in ourselves from a higher space to protect ourselves, to keep ourselves strong during this time. We see divine masculine energy both in the Emperor and in the Hierophant. So you are taking control, you are taking action. It may feel like you might not fully be with some of this, and we also see a divine masculine in the Knight of Cups, but this Five of Cups energy is the center. You might be processing through some loss and emotions during this month, but let your more protective, action-oriented energy also continue to move yourself forward through this month. You do feel very, very protected to me this month with the Emperor up here and with Judgment down here. And the Knight of Cups and the Hierophant. I feel like there is a security around you that I really like, that you are probably producing yourself. And we have the Ten of Pentacles, interesting, because we saw that as the outcome. So this is where our goal has shifted to the spirit of, okay, how can I create more abundance? And the Emperor certainly deserves abundance. He would know how to create it. We have the Lovers, Gemini energy. This is about a choice, right? A path choice, maybe a higher path choice, or a decision that needs to be made about what is it that we do that we love. Will that bring us the money and the abundance that we want? The Emperor is going to be making that decision. These are like pretty heady cards. And then we have the King of Swords. We saw the Queen of Swords in January. To me, this feels similar to the graduation we see here. Going from the Queen to the King's going to be a little bit more practical, a little bit more logical, but we have all the means or the intelligence within ourselves to make these decisions, to move ourselves forward in really direct and powerful ways. Remember that this is air, this is fire, they feed each other. You know, you can't have fire burn without oxygen, without air. And air, gets consumed and put to good use by fire. So and Gemini is also an air sign card. So there is a churning, a percolating that may be going on in your higher self, and inspiration that you may not necessarily feel in February because this Five of Cups is here, but it's going to kick in and the decisions are going to be made. So let me look at the outside influences. Seven of Wands, standing on higher ground and fighting for what we know to be true. We might be getting some resistance or feeling like the world is resisting us. With this card here, let's clarify the Seven of Wands, please. With the Eight of Swords, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Sun. It's going to be okay with the Sun here. This does feel like a little bit of a stuck energy. You might be feeling like you're being blocked. And this feels more situational than anything. It doesn't feel like a specific person. Let me take a sip of coffee. It doesn't feel like a specific person. It feels like trying to move ahead, but you're unable. And I think that the reason why you're unable, or if you are able because the Knight of Pentacles is here, but he moves slowly, carefully. You are able, but there's a bit of a struggle. There's a bit of a feeling of being, maybe bound or stuck right now. And what I think that is I think that there's this graduation that's happening here and in here that needs to take place. This realization that this Emperor and all of these strong cards are within your soul. This intelligence, this wisdom, this fiery ability to take action, make the right choices for your own abundance. But you have to kind of process through and get clear of the past. And I think that's what some of this Ten of Swords is and this Five of Cups is. So in all actuality, what feels like a blockage could very well be a gift. It's like a sense of protection. It may be protecting you right now while you process through February and whatever's gone on so that you can truly graduate and become this emperor. Let's look at the other outside influence. Boom, the sun. So I'm thinking you're experiencing this first, then this. So prepare for that. I think this is maybe the first half of February. This could be the second half of February because we see the sun over here as the outcome. The sun is a new dawn. It's a truth. It's a realization. It's energy, it's action, it's associated with the sign of Leo, which is in alignment with the fire sign of the Emperor in your spirit space. So you could find a renewal of spirit sometime in, like, say, the second week or third week of February, where you're ready to kind of move forward, take on the world, make that decision through the, lovers at your higher self level to go towards what you love, what serves you the most, what is your most powerful. On that, we have the Seven of Pentacles, again, work, the Three of Wands, manifestation, and the Knight of Wands. And that's like moving forward, kind of, I don't want to say impulsively, not in a bad way, but like taking action, jumping to it, getting on with it, moving forward. Making sure, though, I do want to say, I think you have the staying power because of the Seven of Pentacles. That's a very grounded card and a card of like patience. But dare to dream with this Three of Wands here. Like, it feels to me like the outside influences are trying to tell you that you can manifest whatever it was you were seeing in January and even in February, and then go after it. Take the action when it feels right, when you feel complete and you're in this Hierophant energy or this Emperor energy. Go after it, make it happen. Begin to, take action towards new outcomes. Let's look at the outcome card for February. But I wouldn't be surprised if in the beginning of January you feel a little blocked. Just be aware of that. And you're supposed to be blocked, is my feeling. That's a divine thing. Like, that to me feels like divine timing. Take those struggles or those blockades with ease and understand that they're allowing you the time to kind of process. Outcome is the Wheel of Fortune. Not mad at that. Sagittarian energy, also wide open to what the universe has to offer us. Let's clarify that a little bit. Can we clarify the Wheel of Fortune, please? Major Arcana, so there could be a very big shift again in February, or a choice being made that leads us down a different path, but it's a path that is beneficial and fortunate to us, and a path that's in alignment to us, is my feeling. And the reason why I say that too is because we're also being driven, mind you, by the World, Judgment, and the Ace of Cups. So it's going to be something we're very passionate about, is my hope for you. We have the Two of Swords, we have the Hanged Man, and we have the Moon. Wow. Okay. A choice needs to be made in February. That's this Lovers here. It's an important choice and it affects you deeply. And you're not going to make it until you're 100% sure, because it has the potential or the capacity to make for great change in your life in a very powerful way. I'm going to say that. These cards here to me feel like the Hanged Man is about waiting until you have the enlightenment. It's associated with the sign of Pisces. The Moon is associated with both Pisces and predominantly Cancer. There's an emotional energy to this, but there's also a very spiritual, intuitional energy going on. And remember now, this is the outcome, so this is going to be more towards the end of February. We're trying to figure out what the right answer is for us, because it's a big, important decision, and it sets about a course within our universe or our world, right? The Wheel of Fortune is like about opening doors for us to walk down paths we've maybe not explored. That could feel, I don't want to say scary, but you just want to be sure that you're making the right decision. And so this is about, I think, the end of the month, being really aware of being patient with yourself and with the universe, listening to your own intuition, tapping into it. Don't be afraid of it. Shut out the thoughts of others or the opinions of others. This Two of Swords can be about like a no, or I'm gonna sit tight here and wait because there's something I'm needing. There's some piece of information I'm needing before I make a decision which path to go down. Okay, when you do make the decision, I think that will be a large life choice with this Wheel of Fortune here. Do I feel like you're prepared to make it? Indeed, because the Emperor is here, the Hierophant is here, and all of these cards that are driving this are very powerful down here. But you may not feel that way throughout the month of February because it looks like you're like maybe at the 3D level or in your day-to-day life processing emotions, thoughts, things that, weren't necessarily serving you. Bigger choices are ahead. So let's look at this card and see what this says. Right action. Aparigraha literally means let everything that wants to go, go, and everything that wants to come, come. We've seen this card twice this month too. So in essence, we don't need to fear anything in the month of February at all. Things have already left us in January, it appears, with that devil scenario and the graduation that we see here. But there's still something that at the end of February we're fearing making the wrong decision around, but we're being patient, we're being wise, and we're, mulling it over, taking the time that it deserves. I feel like you're taking the time that you deserve here too for whatever shifted in tower moments in January, okay? So keeping that idea of right action and understanding that whatever you need will come to you when you need it, that's also the patience of the Hanged Man. You'll be fine. All right, let's go to March. I told you these are going to be quick and dirty. All right, March for Vicki. What does she need to know for March? What is going from her and what is coming towards her? I also like that she's moving towards the future, Vicki. She's still in that limitless energy that we see in January, that possibility. She's dwelling on possibility rather than, other things. March for Vicki, please. And remember, as these months get further out, right, because March is a few months out, we can potentially, there's room for, alteration of these cards even more. Whoops. Okay, the star wanted to flip out, so I'm going to leave the star right there. I've never seen that happen. That star may predominantly be in this. Oh, I'm not supposed to do that. Hold on. That star might have a meaning somewhere in the reading, so we're going to look and see what comes out in the clarifiers too, but she wants to be out. She flipped right over, which is a really good sign. That's my favorite card of the deck. All right. Here's your center, dear. Three of Pentacles. Grounded. We're back to normal in the month of March, or feeling more grounded, ready to collaborate, ready to create success. That's definitely the case there in the 3D world, feeling more aligned in our mind, body, and spirit, and also seeing that alignment in our 3D creations, right? Whether it's work, money, relationships, things should feel more stable, more aligned. We're not in that emotional place of pondering. We're actually in more of a place of productivity. And the card, I'll say with the star is a card of like intense, calm, peace, and healing, and it is the card that follows the Tower. So if the first 2 months of January and February feel towery to you, or the January is the Tower and then February is the kind of cleanup, the star this month of March is kind of that peace and tranquility that we gain back. So if you're thinking that I would never be free of this or whatever, you're going to get free of it in the month of March. So we have the Eight of Swords, which is feeling a little bit tied up or stuck to a situation, yet buffered by the Ace of Swords, which is our own truth. And then we have the Nine of Cups. You know what's true for you this month, and you know how to get it or how to work towards it with the Three of Pentacles there. The Eight of Swords could be a little bit of other people's opinions or ideas, thoughts, or what they're communicating to you that are trying to place limitations on you, but I don't feel like you're going to allow yourself to, and I feel like with the Nine of Cups and the Ace of Swords here, your truth reigns supreme, both emotionally and mentally, and you're going to cut through those limitations very easily to be able to move forward productively. Let's look at the past card. We have the Queen of Swords, and she's going to harken us back to January. You set all of this in motion then. You might have even been setting it in motion in 2022, and you're really putting it to work in January, but I feel like she is pulling you right back 2 months before to where we started, where this all began, and understanding, where we're still heading, reminding us. I feel like she's showing up to remind us in the face of adversity of what January might have been or was for us, to redefine or to re-clarify that picture, that goal, that desire, and to push us to work towards it. So we have the Knight of Pentacles. We saw him too, I believe, moving forward slowly. He's stable, he's reliable. We have the Six of Wands, which is success and celebration driving this. We know we can make this work. And we have the Chariot, which is Cancerian, full nurturing mother love, full forward movement. These cards to me feel like they're saying to me is they're saying stay on the path. You know what's right for you. You know what's going to be that right action that you learned, in February. Just keep moving forward, and you are doing so, and you're doing so in a way that honors your truth and what feels right to you, not necessarily what confines you by others' beliefs or thoughts about you. Now let's go to the higher self card. We have that Knight of Cups. We saw him in the middle point of February. He's oftentimes a message of love. He can be very romantic and associated with the water signs. He's also very much forward focused movement in this space of love. Let's clarify him. We're moving towards, March is a collaborative month where we're getting to ideally stay focused on our goals and move towards what we love, and away from what limits us, is my feeling. On the Knight of Cups, we have the Moon. Your intuition will be strong this month. I don't get the confusion from that Moon. I feel like this is about listening to your intuition and your heart. We have the Six of Cups, and we have the Nine of Pentacles, which is pure independence. Six of Cups is about soulmates, nostalgia, family, our soul family, people we recognize at a deeper level, or those that we support at a deeper level, or they support us, honoring those connections, being grateful for those connections. This to me feels very spiritually, relying on ourselves and ourselves alone to spiritually move forward in love from a place of our intuition, even though if it doesn't make sense to those that we love, and trusting in those relationships and relying on the support of those deeper core soul family relationships. They don't necessarily have to be family members. They can be people that we just trust and love, leading us to our independence, leading us to our own understanding that we have everything that we need. We're grounded, we're discerning, we're dedicated to all of this. Let's go to the outside influences. We have the Eight of Swords. Interesting, she's there and she's here. Something outside of you is stirring this up in you while you're trying to move forward, is my feeling. It could be other people's fears, other people's limitations that they're doing from a place of, thinking they're looking out for you, but what they're actually doing is they're limiting you in what you're believing is possible. And the Queen of Swords and this Ace of Swords are trying to cut that shit away and be like, no, don't listen to that. Don't listen to those voices, communications, or thoughts of others. That's their perception of how they would do it. It's not necessarily what works for you. So let's go to we have the Three of Swords. So they are working from a broken they're working from a broken GPS. They love you. They may mean love. There is a heart there. They may think they're looking out for you from a place of love, but they're standing in the way of you. It's the honest truth. And they may be the best well-meaning people or ideas, but they're not serving you. We have the Sun. This could be you seeing the truth of that or understanding that. And we have the Six of Swords, which is moving to calmer waters. So this may not last all month, is my feeling. They may loosen up, especially because you have the Queen of Swords driving this and the Ace of Swords. Stay more with your own logic than with theirs, is my feeling. That could be also the clarity of the Sun. It just kind of washes away any of their fears. They're unable to, convince you of it, let's say. So let's look to this card. It's the Five of Pentacles. Now this is a card of setback, It is transitional. Let me just see what's going on here. Because these are both kind of negative influences, I would say. This turns positive with that sun and the Six of Swords. It doesn't take hold, let's say that. It does a little bit because these might be people that you love or that you care about, and whatever advice or guidance they're giving you, you might be trying to take it in and process it and go, does this really work for me? In the end, it's like a no is my feeling because of that Ace of Swords and the Nine of Cups. You know what's right for you. On this Five of Pentacles, we have the Queen of Swords. You've dealt with this. Like, don't let it set you back. The King of Swords. We saw him in your soul's position in the month previous. And the Ace of Cups. Don't let 3D physical setbacks in relationships, situations, whatever it may be, stop you, is what this is saying. There's a bigger thing here for you. There's a bigger outcome. There's a bigger goal that you're trying to attain in these months, and you're trying to hold true to it, stay solid with it. I'm not saying trying, but it just feels like these cards feel like they're stay focused on it, stay connected to it at the heart level, at the love level. You know, if it feels right, if it feels nourishing at the level of your heart and soul, continue forward, even in the face of adversity, in the face of setback. Don't let the setbacks of others or their well-meaning words of, fear deter you off of your path. Stay true to yourself. That's the clarity of the star. She's a silent, subtle voice that we need to listen to during the month of March, that brings about our own healing and our own awareness of what it is that our truth is and what we need. And then the outcome is the Seven of Pentacles. Not mad at this outcome because it aligns with this Three of Pentacles. Again, it's about patience and hard work and knowing where we're going, paying attention to the path that we're on and giving it the attention that it deserves, right? Let me clarify this really quick. And growing it, right? Growing what it is that we want. And it being a bountiful harvest at some point. It may not be immediate. It might be a few months into the year, but having that time to take care of that, make it happen. Seven of Pentacles on the Seven of Pentacles, okay? Two of Pentacles. And the Star. She wanted to come out. I feel like the message here is be at peace with what it is that you want. Be at peace with what it is that you desire, even if it was in direct conflict with, whatever we dealt with in January and through February. Hold tight to that focus, that vision of where you want to be and how you want it to look, and then give it the methodical care and attention and nurturing that it deserves. It might require a bit of a balancing act. That would be the Two of Pentacles. But I feel like the Pentacles also, all of this Pentacles kind of grounds you. All of this represents kind of money. But it's not like the money's here yet. We saw the Ten of Pentacles, I want to say, wasn't it in your soul in February? We also see the Nine of Pentacles here in March. This goal of maybe better finances or whatever, it's coming. You need to stay true to it and stay focused on it. But focus on it in a sense of peace, in a sense of calm, in a sense of nurturing. Think about how good it will feel when you're in that space. You're heading towards that space. You need to intuitionally trust that from a place of love and use your logic and your wisdom to get you there. You will be successful. I mean, we see it in all of this. Let me look at the overarching theme for the month of March. This is the card. I love it. Divine Love. I saw the angel wings and I freaked. The green to me is a deep green healing with the heart chakra. Okay. I'm going to say these blues here are, to me, about being certainty. So be certain about letting go of whatever's walking away from you and in February, and be certain about the limitless possibilities that this year has to offer you in March. I mean, in January. This says, when you offer everything to the divine with detachment, you begin a love affair with spirit. I love that. Where we see divine love, we saw it a little bit in February in the Ace of Cups. We also see it here in the Knight of Cups. We did see the Knight of Cups in February too. There is this presiding sort of love or heart emotion that runs through these readings during these 3 months that you need to not lose sight of. You need to hold on to and let that be your barometer or your focus as you move through these 3 months. That's my feeling, because that is your truth. Like, that is your um, the wisdom of sort of who you are and what you are and where you're at to be able to move forward towards what it is you desire or what it is you want. I hope that makes sense, Vicki. And I hope I didn't go too fast, but I knew this was going to be a lot of cards. And overall, I feel like this is about, these 3 months of this year are really about setting yourself up for how you experience the rest of the year and trusting that setup, regardless of what others say. Don't let anyone stand in your way. Don't let anyone place limitations on you, including yourself, which I don't necessarily see that from the cards in any of the months. I didn't see anything where it looked to me like you would be not believing in yourself. This to me could have been that, but it's over here. So this says that no, it's just she's so kind hearted, is my feeling. We see divine love, we see the Ace of Cups a couple of times, the Knight of Cups. She's so kind hearted and true, she'll even take bad information in and process it just to make sure that maybe they're not right. Um, your information is as good as anyone else's, is my feeling with this reading. So stay with that and follow that and let that be your guide for these months. Keep your focus with this queen that starts in January. Remind yourself in March of where you were in January and what you were going after, because February, it's not that February felt all of that. It felt like the end of January is that tower moment that feels like it's somebody else's and needs to happen. But also after that tower moment, through February, you might be processing some emotions and shifts and things like that and thoughts around that. This queen shows up again to remind us of what we set off to do in January. So we don't want to lose sight of that. We also see her again here and with the king, who we saw in February up in your soul space. So even if you're facing setbacks or naysayers in March, don't let them stop you. I don't feel like you're going to. I feel like there's a calm and a serenity that we see in the star that is reminding us to stay true to ourselves, and listen to that little voice that is within, that voice that comes from our soul, from our heart, from our, that quiet place of truth within us that will guide us through this experience. And it's going to lead us to, I think, abundance. It's taking some time. Pentacles is always a slower energy, but with the Seven of Pentacles doubled up here, we see the Nine of Pentacles and we saw the Ten of Pentacles in the last reading. There is this, I don't know if looming is the right word, but there is this sort of payoff to this experience that you will experience at some point, if that makes sense. But these would indicate, at the end of March, being patient, productive, attentive, maybe balancing a little in the face of whatever this adversity is, right? But reminding yourself of how smart you are, the wisdom of your heart, and utilizing that to be your truth and move you forward. Um, it's really yours to be had, is my feeling. And it's up to you to make sure that you get it, if that makes sense, right? When you offer everything to the divine with detachment, you begin a love affair with spirit. Knight of Cups is about bringing messages of love. So start that love affair with your own spirit or with your guides, and hand it all over, and then just do the footwork and remain in the peace of that throughout March. and watch what happens and transpires. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. I think we're in a good place there, um, because I think that's the message for March. That is your reading or your readings, my dear. Thank you so very much. Let me know if they resonate. You may have to rewatch this a few times, and it might be interesting to watch it after the months take place. But let me know how everything goes. I appreciate you, and thank you for purchasing the reading. And thank you for letting me, explore doing this in a different way. Stay focused on these three cards as you move through these 3 months. Come back and visit this reading and remind yourself if you need to of who this Queen of Swords actually really is. She's a woman that knows everything that she needs to know and can do everything she needs to do, and she does it from a place of honor and from her heart, and that's a powerful, powerful energy. Don't let anyone else deny that. They're afraid of it, probably. All right. Thank you so much, Vicki. I hope this helped, and I will be talking to you, when I talk to you. All right. Take care and have a wonderful 2023. All right. Bye bye.